I hope everyone is doing well and welcome to Outland Japan. I'm, of course, your host, Peter Carnell, a travel guide based in northern Nagano. And it is Nagano in which we spend today's episode, just outside of Nagano City, as we visit with Osaka Gaku, the owner of Solashima. Solashima is a vintage and antique store selling furniture and other items, a store my wife and I discovered quite some time ago when we moved to Nagano and were in need of furnishing our home. Ever since venturing there and discovering Solashima, we've been avid followers, and I was very, very pleased to be able to sit down with the owner, Gaku, to chat in late summer. He's a lovely guy, and he speaks very well about why he does what he does. The interview was recorded sitting amongst the vintage furniture and items of daily life and industrial use now for sale in the shop and the adjoining warehouse. As Gaku says during our chat, the furniture and other items he acquires and sells range in age, design and condition. The process of acquiring and valuing that stock takes him into people's homes and unoccupied houses, and in doing so, into the stories of their lives and the memories many of these items carry with them. The availability of such pieces, often beautiful yet unwanted timber furniture, ceramics, glassware, and much more, reflects the reality of this part of Japan, which, like most regional areas across the country, is suffering from an aging and decreasing population. There is often no one to pass these items on to, with many unoccupied or soon to be abandoned or demolished homes, full of unwanted furnishings and items that would in almost any other circumstances be coveted and highly priced. One of the motivations behind this podcast is to encourage listeners to travel outside of the big cities and into regional and rural Japan. And for anyone who is already living in Japan or intending to move here, to look outside those big cities, as I think there's a lot of opportunity to craft a better life and create your own work out here. Solashima is one such example. I hope my chat with Gaku sparks your interest in the vintage furniture and craft of Japan's recent past, which is at risk of being tossed out before it's properly appreciated, and visiting Solashima. You'll find a link to Solashima's Instagram in the show notes. The podcast website is outlandjapan.com, or you can find the show on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube by searching Outland Japan. Following the show on our social media is the best way to stay up to date with what's going on, upcoming episodes, and images related to the current episode. If you haven't yet subscribed to the pod or followed us on Instagram or Facebook, very naughty of you, please do so now, and I'd love for you to write a review, as it really does make a big difference with the pod apps promoting the show to others. Now enough of that badgering. Here's my chat with Gaku. I hope you enjoy it. In between being open, are you traveling to go and obviously find stock and...
Yeah. And also some cleaning up, preparation.
Yeah, that's a question we'll come to later on. I was very curious. How do you make a decision when you get the furniture, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're going to do some maintenance and clean it up. How do you make a decision, like if you're going to restore it to make it, into a very nice condition, or leave it a little bit, used and marked? How do you make that decision?
I like to be to leave as it is, like dirty. But if it's very dusty, or when you touch it, and then your fingers get black or something, it's not possible to use. So I need to clean up that part.
Yeah.
But I don't want to clean all the way. I like that kind of scratch or some dirt or something. So
me too, actually. So my guest on the podcast today is Osaka Gaku, owner of Solashima. So Gaku, thank you for making time to speak with me today. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Really looking forward to our chat today. I should mention we're speaking today in the warehouse of your store, Solashima. So listeners, you might get a bit of background noise. It's a hot day, so there's some fans going in the background, and we have some trucks going past outside, but it all adds to the atmosphere. So I want to start by just talking about where we are. So your store, Solashima, is here in Suzuka, which is about 30 minutes outside of Nagano City.
Yeah.
Yep. It just and then 30 minutes from the mountains, really, just in between.
Yep.
Yep. But you don't live here. So can we start there? Where do you live?
I'm living in Iyama City. Yeah. 1 hour driving from here
Yep.
to the Iyama central city of Iyama, but my house is 30 minutes more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And that 30 minutes makes a big difference because, again, listeners might have heard of Iyama. It's a Shinkansen station that gives access to ski resorts like Nozawa, Madarao. So a lot of people go through there. But the area that you're in, which is called Karayama,
Karayama,
which
yes.
is further up and getting into some really heavy snow country.
Yeah.
So can we talk about that? Are you from Karayama? And if not, why are you choosing to live there?
No, I originally from Hyogo Prefecture. Actually, I was born in Osaka, but raised in Hyogo, Takarazuka City. Yes. And so the reason I came to Karayama is before I came there, I actually worked in Tokyo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was selling outdoor shoes. I worked for a shoe company.
Which a company that we would know, like a famous one?
I don't know. It's not very famous, but the customer is kind of celebrities or some sportsman or something. So it's very, very nice quality and expensive shoes.
What's the name of the brand?
I don't know.
You don't have to say.
I don't actually. I don't want to say that because, because I quit that job and
for a reason.
For not great reason.
Got it. No, yeah, I totally understand. So how many years ago was that you left that job and then came up here?
Yes, 10 years ago.
Oh,
10 years ago, I came here. Yeah.
And when you moved up here to Nagano, what was the first thing that you were doing?
People always ask me, "Oh, you came here as iju in Japanese, iju. So you decided to come. You're looking for some nice and quiet place, or you want to live in a kominka or something." But it's not my case. I just wanted to leave Tokyo, and I just wanted to quit that job, and so I found new job in Iyama. So before that, I have never heard of the name of Iyama, and I have no idea what kind of place is there.
You're in Karayama, which you said is about 30 minutes further up the road from Iyama. Yeah. And that's quite heavy snow area. So what's life in Karayama like?
It's very... I really, really love that place. It's very quiet and not so many people and lots of greens and farmland and rice fields. And so it's very peaceful and I really love that place.
It is a very small place up there and it's only getting smaller because the community is getting smaller year by year. And year.
Yeah.
Lots of abandoned houses up there, Akia. Which I believe kind of led you into the business that you're now doing.
Yeah.
So the business we're going to talk about today, your current business, Solashima.
Solashima, yeah.
I said we're sitting in the warehouse of Solashima, full of wonderful furniture and other items that you effectively rescue or acquire from people that no longer want it or abandoned homes.
Yeah.
And then you do some restoration and then you sell that furniture on. So can you start by talking, Gaku, what is the concept behind Solashima and how do you describe it to other people?
Oh, yeah. So this store is called furudoguya in Japanese. Literally means, and furu means an old stuff. And dogu is literally means a tool, but in this case, it's just furniture or some old items. So my store is that kind of thing. And then the concept is I'm collecting not only, of course, all the things, but not only old, but also it must be well made. And then I need to feel that it's cool or beautiful or some kind of things. Yeah, so it's very subjective.
So you're saying that just because it's old doesn't mean that you think it automatically has value.
No.
There has to be something more.
Yeah.
Can I ask though, having just said that, the furniture that we're surrounded by now as we speak, how old is most of it? Is there a kind of a range of years of...
Yes, it has a range, of course, and it's from Edo period or to early Showa or also it's present times. Yeah, so
those names may not be familiar to listeners.
Right.
So can you help understand when we talk about Edo period? And I can help out.
All right. Yeah.
Edo period, which is then followed by Meiji,
Taisho, and Showa.
Which when are those periods, and why are they called that? Can we start there?
Mm-hmm.
So Meiji period. Edo period was up to 1868, I think is roughly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry too much. Which is when Japan was self-isolated.
Yeah.
And then that ended with the start of the Meiji period.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, different people put it at different dates, but 1868 is typically the range. Meiji period went through to like 1910 or something.
19 something.
Yeah, and that's the Taisho, and then that went to 1920s, and Showa, and Showa went up to 1989 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And those periods are named after the emperors.
Yeah.
In those, Yep. So when you're saying some of the furniture here goes back to Edo period, we're going back more than 100, and some of it is more than 100 and
100 and 200. Yeah.
Years old, and up to the most recent furniture items you might have would be.
But really recent.
So how did you start this business? Did you start it yourself?
No. Actually, I just took over this whole store in this January. Myself, just my experience is just about 8 months or something.
Did you just jump straight into this business, or you found your way into it gradually? How did that happen?
Yeah, gradually. I actually, before I took over this business, I have worked for this store about 3 years. 3 years, but just 7 days or 10 days per month or something. So not very so many days. The previous owner. So now the previous owner wanted to start some other project. So, but he wanted to keep this store as it is. So one day he asked me, would you like to do Solashima or something? And I said, oh, okay, yes. I felt that, okay, maybe I can do it. Because before I started this store by myself, I always thinking about if I were the owner, what should I do? And so, okay, maybe I can do it. So that's that.
So I'm really curious, Gaku, with the furniture that you have, is there a typical process of how you acquire this furniture? Can you walk me through how that happens?
Actually, I'm just waiting for the call from the people, and then people who wants to clear their house. After that, and so I visit the house and I literally look around everything, every single pieces. I open every drawers and open the door and going upstairs and downstairs and look behind the wall or something. So I look everything. And then collect something that I want to buy. Then ask to the owner, is it okay? And if you want to keep, and you can keep. And then I bring
that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to them. You don't have to go and knock on doors. People are contacting you. They're aware of the business. They're contacting you.
Yeah.
And is it typically the owner themselves, or it's the extended family that there's this home which is not being used and they're selling it or pulling it down? What's the background?
It's a mixture of all of them. Yeah. And usually the owner is usually the elders, but they already passed away or went to nursery or something.
A nursing home.
Home, or something. So they their daughter or son need to clear the house. So they contact me. Okay,
and this might be a really hard question to answer, but how do you put a value on these items? Because some of the things around us are really unique, right? So there's must be, I guess, just through experience, or how are you putting an actual price on these things to offer the owner?
Yeah, it's through the experience because it's very subjective. So this is beautiful, and I feel this one is great. And so that's very easy for me. And also, I know something, this one is very popular to the customers, so I need to keep it. But even if it's very popular and I don't feel it's not my genre or different field or something.
You won't just get it because it's...
Yes. So, but I feel, I need to do something because it's not for this store, but if someone want to keep that item, maybe I should keep, but this not, the style is very different from this store. It's always, all the time I'm kind of struggling.
Yeah.
But sometimes I bring them and then sell for, not in the store.
Yeah. Is the process typically quite straightforward, or it must be kind of emotional for some people to be getting rid of their memories of life?
Yeah, sometimes the owner said, it's just garbage. You can take everything. But sometimes this is very precious or some memorable things. One case, I have an example. The owner, she was very struggling to sell that items that she has because these items are from mother and father and grandparents or something. So it has a history and a memory. But at that time, she contacts me and then she wanted to sell. But I visited her place and she was not ready. And then me and she look around together, the house. She's kind of almost start crying.
Yeah.
So, and then also I very understand that her emotion because I already have cleared my own house actually. So I really understand her emotion. So I wait for 30 minutes and she wanted to say goodbye to her house and her dozo kura, monoki. And so after that, she said, it's okay. Yeah, okay, I'm ready. And then I start collecting together. Usually, the owner is wait outside of the house or because it took a very long time. So, and also I don't want to follow and after, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
kind of like feel because you're in someone's home, right? You're going through their thing.
So, but at the time, we collected together and then share the memory. Oh, I found this one and look at this doll, and she came here. Oh, this is very natsukashi, and I have lots of memory, and then something like that, and then together.
I guess it's hard to say because the process would be very different from house to house. But how long does it typically take? I imagine sometimes you're there for a long time.
So it's about 1 hour, or if there are lots of stuff, it took a whole day. The longest one was I needed to 3 times go
to visit there.
Yeah. 3 pile of truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was very long time. It took a long time.
Do you enjoy the process of actually hunting through someone's home, looking for those treasures? Do any particular items that you've discovered sitting there stand out? Things that you thought, wow, this is amazing to have found this? The items from Meiji period or Taisho period, it's very different from now. The design is a mixture of Western culture and the Japanese culture, and that period is, of course, it's before the plastic is created, so everything is, I don't know, unique, or I can see the craftsmanship and then some struggle. For example, and now very easy to make a pet bottle or something. Yeah. But before that, people need some skill to make a proper ones. And I can see that kind of struggle. And it's very interesting. And also, the people's skill is not good enough. So I mean, for example, the window glass is supposed to be completely flat or completely, clear or something like that. But all times, people try to be flat, try to remove the air inside of the glass, but they couldn't reach to that point. I feel that is very beautiful, and that struggle attracts me a lot. So Gaku, I'm really curious to ask, many of the people, I guess, that you're dealing with are elderly. Are they surprised that you want these items? And do they see any value in these things?
Yeah, they're surprised. Every time I ask, "Oh, is this okay to keep? Is this okay to keep?" And then and the owner always, why? And then because the expectation is very different. When the owners contact me, they expect that I want kind of traditional old kimono shelf or kind of Japanese dolls or some specific box or pot or something like that. I understand that obviously it's very old and you see these items in, I don't know, samurai drama or something. So people expect that, oh, we can sell this one, obviously. But actually these are not my taste. So every time the owner surprised.
Maybe they have some things there to show you that they're expecting you to go, oh, yes, this please. And you're looking past that
yeah, right.
to this item behind that they've given no thought to. And that's what you're after. Yeah. That leads me to the question, why do you think these things are worth saving?
Because it's cool. It's very beautiful for me. Sometimes it's very dirty or broken, but look very close. I can see some skill or some decoration. Even in the simple furniture or something, I can feel kind of passion or something. And I don't want to be very spiritual, but I can feel kind of passion in it.
Your interest in this period, as you said, it's not a specific period. Edo, Meiji, Taisho, Showa. One thing I've noticed living in Japan is that people don't really talk as much about Meiji, Taisho, and Showa. It's always Edo period. And obviously Japan's history through Meiji, Taisho, and Showa was quite turbulent.
Yeah.
Japan opened to the world and militarized, and eventually we had the conflict of the Second World War, and obviously what that put Japan through. And I think also a lot of around that period, that's Showa. The craftsmanship is not really as valued as highly, speaking generally.
So the Showa period is actually 64 years long.
Yeah,
so it's very different from the early Showa and the last part of the Showa. So I like the early part of Showa before World War II. That period, the early Showa, you can see the craftsmanship in it.
Opposed to later Showa, which after the war, where there wasn't really the time to think too much about appearances. Things had to be made to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
So I think Japan actually, it's at risk of not valuing that period before it's lost, right? And I think what you're doing for that reason is fantastic, is actually bringing value to these things. And I think it is happening. Younger Japanese seem to really value that period a lot.
Yes, yeah.
Which brings me to the question, who are your customers typically? Who's coming here to buy items off you?
I don't know how to say, but ordinary people っていうか一般の人 and so of course younger generation 20s and 30s and of course in the 40s more the people who wants to use these furnitures or in daily life or for their shop, they're opening some new store or shop or something and they want to use these items instead of buying a new one.
Coming mainly locally, or are they coming from Tokyo, other places?
Mainly from locally. Locally means, I don't know, in Nagano.
Nagano, the surroundings.
Yeah, surroundings. And also from Tokyo or some, I don't know, Kyushu or sometimes.
Kyushu?
Yeah.
No, that's a real effort to get here from Kyushu.
Sometimes the other store owners comes here by secret, or I mean, they don't say I'm the owner of the other store. Just pretend as the normal customer and then they buy lots of things, but it's easy to recognize, this is not just the customer. All the time I ask them or I tell them the furniture in this store is not very expensive and then you can resell to your store. I understand that is the business. If I don't want to be bought by other owner of the store, I should make everything more expensive. That's the solution.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to do it because these things, these antiques items are very, very good things, very well made, And especially for the younger generations, I want to give them an opportunity to have these items instead of buying, just cheap and cheap items.
Yeah. And this is the furniture and daily items of ordinary people.
Yeah.
And I think one thing which is not good about the kind of the environment we'll have to operate in is that if the prices are so high, it means that so many people can't afford to buy items that were once the property of people just like them.
Yes, right.
They become the exclusive property of the rich. So again, it's very attractive. It's not the reason that I really want to promote your store, because I think your store is wonderful by itself.
Thank you.
But that is a little positive of it. the pricing is attractive. And actually, I should have asked earlier, are you acquiring most of these items from around here in Nagano, or are you going to other prefectures too?
Yes, and only in Nagano. Northern part of Nagano.
Any plan to expand out and look at other prefectures?
Yes, and Niigata, Joetsu or Tsunang or Tokamachi or that kind of area is I'm interested in, because I'm living in Iyama City, so it's easy to access, and also the culture is a bit different from this area. So the items are a bit different. So I'm interested in other culture, and also if I have a chance, I wanted to go somewhere by the ocean, near ocean. So it's the culture in Nagano is mountain culture. So I'm interested in other ocean culture or something.
Yeah, because again, a lot of the items around us are industrial, or they've been put to some practical use for people's businesses and jobs. And as you say, there's no ocean here in Nagano. We're completely landlocked. It's mountains. So I imagine if you go to Niigata and those other areas that have coast, the items of daily work would be quite different.
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting. Of everything that's around us, are there things that appeal personally to you that you are most attracted to? What do you enjoy purchasing or collecting the most? If I went to your house, what would I find?
Yeah, right. Something that the taste comes from なんか偶然にできて
偶然に? What is 偶然に?
偶然に kind of I can say accidentally or by chance, and it's not intentional. Something, not intentional.
But leaves a mark, which gives it some
mark, and the color is
value. I understand you went to Australia earlier this year to partake in a antiques event?
Yes, not an antiques event. It's actually a friend of mine is going to held an kind of event of the pottery, and then he asked me to join as an antique store. So and I said yes, but at that time I had no idea what kind of stuff should we bring. I thought that I should go and then talk to the customers, talk to the people in Sydney, and what kind of things they're interested in.
What was the experience? Did you find that the Australian market is interested in what you're selling, or it's a little bit different to what you expected?
It was the great experience. The people are very nice, and then we talked a lot. But the taste in Solashima's stuff is a bit different from the foreign people's expectation, I think, because they expected more Japanese style. And obviously it's Japanese, like an all I don't know, red and oju kind of box, or some painted dragon,
the things that people would classically connect with Japan, the imagery and furniture styles. This is a bit different. Do you think you'll return and do it again, or are you interested in going to other countries?
I'm not planning yet, but I hope to come back to Sydney or other countries.
If somebody was to visit your store here in Suzuka, and we'll provide your details in a moment, are you able to send items abroad?
Yes. Yes. I will try, and I'm going to do it. And because I have never done kind of shipping, so I need to prepare, and then I need to collect more information. But I'm pretty sure, and I can do it.
It can be done. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you today, Gaku, apart from the fact that we genuinely love your store,
Thank you.
and admire what you're doing here, is I especially admire Japanese that go out and do businesses for themselves. I think it's very hard here. The environment isn't really as conducive to do your own business in Japan as maybe some Western countries. And I think there's a lot of often social pressure on Japanese to get full-time jobs with big companies like you used to have in Tokyo, this kind of thing. What they kind of call maybe a salaryman kind of job here. Very secure. Did you feel that pressure to have that lifestyle? And ultimately, why did you make a decision to leave that and come and do what you're doing?
Okay. Yeah, of course. And I felt kind of pressure when I quit my first shoe company, the first job. And also the pressure was some from outside, or I mean, in Japan, people tend to say that you need to be patient at least 3 years at one place or something. And at the time, I believed that kind of thing. So I felt a bit guilty about it. But at the same time, I knew that I couldn't keep doing for the rest of my life. So I need to leave that company. I quit. After that, I was planning to keep working at one place. I mean, at a tourist bureau. But at the time, the working environment was not very good. Now it's very much nicer. It's very good. So, but at that moment, it was very tough for me.
Yeah.
So I thought that I couldn't keep doing this again. So maybe around that time, I started thinking about maybe I shouldn't. I am not very good at doing salaryman, and maybe I should do something on my own. But I thought, I don't know, what should I do? Because I have no skill or nothing special things for me. So that's the moment I was working for other three other places or something. Then, so yeah. And the previous owner of Solashima asked me to do this business. So, I finally, maybe I can do. And then this business is very interesting. Maybe I can do it for a very long time. Yeah.
What do your friends and family think of what you're doing?
As a friend said, it's a very good. I'm doing a very good job, and the family means. And actually, I have no parents anymore. I mean, so my mom passed away 2 years ago, and my father left my house when I was 3 years old. And I have 2 brothers. I'm one of the triplets.
Actual triplets?
Yes, actual triplets. I talked to them. I'm going to start my own store, and they said, congratulations. And then,
fantastic.
But probably they don't understand what I'm doing actually, because I'm the one who are doing kind of working or traveling free. So they don't understand what I'm doing exactly.
And on that note, is it difficult to succeed with this business?
I think so. Before I start this business, I had no chance to talk to the owner of other store. So I didn't know if it's difficult or easy. But I think it's not very easy, especially if you start right now. Because there are already lots of competition. Yeah. And then and also it's getting more difficult to find these items, these old items. In my case, my store is fortunate enough to find these antique items because I can buy from the people's house directly. But other owners need to buy through antique market, so it's very hard to find it.
Yeah, there's a store that we particularly like in Niigata, near Yozawa, and which is close to where my wife is from. So every time we go up there to visit her family, we try to stop by this store. And we notice that often the other people in the store are just buying up items, I think clearly to resell.
Yeah.
Whereas we're buying for ourselves. So I can see like there is a lot of competition out there these days. But obviously you're in a strong position because, as we talked about, this area where you live, Karayama, but even Nagano more generally, even this area, has a declining population. So there's more and more abandoned homes, people looking to clear out the homes to sell them, to demolish, often to demolish the house. So it's not like these items are going to disappear anytime soon. In that regard, I think a lot of people, when they look at regional Japan, they're not very positive about the future because it is a declining population. Yeah. But what you're doing, which I really like, is actually you see opportunity. I think you've identified opportunity there as a young person to get out of Tokyo and come and have your own business and life out here that you probably would be very hard to do in Tokyo.
I am still struggling doing this business because I've just started. But gradually I can see some future or something that I want to achieve. And for example, the first one is I'd like to introduce this stuff more in Japanese people. I mean, recently some specific items are very popular in foreign countries. So I always asked from the other shop owner, do you have this shelf or something? Because it is going to be sold very expensive in abroad. I think something is not right. And it's not a bad thing to sell some antique item in abroad because the best way for some items is to be kept by someone who thinks that item is beautiful or cool. So it doesn't matter if it's Japanese or not. It's okay or it's a great thing to sell something in abroad. But I think it's wrong to be sold. It can be sold very expensive. That owner is just looking that item as a money. So I feel uncomfortable. And also I feel sad because the people in Japan don't have an opportunity to see that item in the future, or it's not future, but it's from now. I want to do something. I want to introduce that kind of items to the Japanese people more. And also, and at the same time, I want to introduce something more in abroad. It's very, なんだろう、対照的だけど、
bit of a balance there.
Yeah, balance. I don't know. The Japanese people, easy to, throw away.
Yeah.
But if the foreign people find value in it, I'd like to introduce that kind of, that items.
You mentioned there that the store is only open for 1 week a month.
Yep.
So if somebody does want to come and visit you, and I hope listeners do, I really encourage you to, how do they check when you're open? Or how can they follow you online? How can they get in contact with you?
And I have an Instagram account. It is Solashima. You can search Solashima. Solashima is Solashima.
And on your Instagram, you publish your opening dates for each month?
Yes, yeah. And then it's every month. It's the very first Saturday, and then open for 4 weeks, and 7 days in a row.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Gaku, I want to say a huge thank you for making time to speak with me today.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
To your wonderful warehouse.
Please feel free to give me a direct message on the Instagram, or I'm interested in what kind of things people in abroad are interested in. So I'm pretty sure I know that lots of people are listening to this podcast in abroad. So please, if you have some ideas or something, please give me a message. And if someone living in Japan and planning to buy a house and struggling to clear the house, please contact me.
I know a lot of people purchasing Akia in these regions are foreigners. So yes, if a foreigner is acquiring a house, as they often are, full of things,
Yeah.
and wanted you to look through and see what you might be interested in, they can get in contact with you. And
Yes, of course, please. And but if it's very far from Nagano, it might be difficult.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but in Nagano, northern part of Nagano or Niigata area.
Yeah. Gaku, again, thank you very much. And I'm going to stop the interview now and look around your store for myself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's it for today's episode. Thank you to Gaku for taking time to speak with me and for providing the images used in support of this episode. Please visit the Solashima Instagram, link in the show notes, and for anyone in the area, keep an eye on when the store is open and make sure to visit, or simply send him a message if you're interested to discuss anything. If you're furnishing a home or business or looking to move on furniture and other items from the home you currently have, Gaku is an ideal person to speak with. Make sure to check out the Outland Japan Instagram and Facebook for images, and of course, the podcast website is outlandjapan.com. That's AUTLAND Japan.com, and the show is also on YouTube with the handle @OutlandJapanPod. My name is Peter Carnell. This has been Outland Japan. I'll be back with the next episode in a couple of weeks' time. Until then, bye for now.